Unit 7, page 146, reading 1. How a Ugandan girl got an education. You are going to read an article about how a girl from a very poor village in Uganda became a college graduate with the help of people who donated to an organization. Use the article to gather information and ideas for your unit assignment. Exercise A, preview the reading. Preview, read the first and last paragraphs. What kind of help do you think this girl received? Check your answers. So that's quite simple. You will just, after you have read the article, you will then read the preview and you will check the correct answer according to the article. Exercise B, quick write. Think about a time when you donated money or material goods such as clothing or books. Write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. Be sure to use this section for your unit assignment. Exercise C, vocabulary. Check the words you know, then work with a partner to locate each word in the heading. Use clues to help define the words you don't know. Check your definitions in the dictionary. So this is the vocabulary. I will read through the vocab. Adjustment, attend, commitment, distribute, extremely, generosity, inspire, owe, proud, transition. Exercise D, go online to listen and practice your pronunciation. So this is something that you can do online. You can go online to your Q Skills account and you can practice your pronunciation of the vocab. We will now turn over to page 147. Work with the reading. Exercise A. Read the article and gather information about how a small amount of money can make a big difference. So this is the article, How a Ugandan Girl Got an Education. You will now read this article, and as you can see, the vocab is written in bold. Proud, owes, extremely, attend, generosity, commitment, distributed. So yes, you will read this article. I will now turn over to page 148. So the article continues on page 148. We will now go below the article to exercise B, vocabulary. Here are some words from reading 1. Read the sentences, then write each bold word next to the correct definition on page 149. So you will read each sentence and you will focus on the words that are written in bold. Like for example, number 1, the word is proud. So what is the meaning of the word proud? You will write the definition next to it, and you will do the same for each one, like owe, extremely, attend, generosity, commitment, distribute. You will write the definition of these words in each sentence. You will write it next to the sentence. That is how you will complete exercise B. Let us now turn over to page 149. So as you can see, the exercise continues, 8, 9, and 10. So you will take the vocabulary that is written in bold, inspire, transition, adjustment, and the ones before that, and you will write it here in this column next to the definition. And there they have a picture of volunteers unpacking supplies. This is related to the article from reading 1. Next we have exercise C, go online for more practice with the vocabulary. So this is something that you can do online on your Q Skills account. You can practice more vocabulary. Let us turn over to page 150. So page 150, exercise D. Read the main ideas, write the paragraph number where they are found. So you will read each one from A all the way to F, and you will write the paragraph number in the blank spaces where they are found. So, for example, A. Beatrice grew up in Uganda in a very poor family. If you feel this came from paragraph number 1, you will write number 1 next to A. That is how you will complete exercise D. Below that, we will look at exercise E. Look at the main ideas that you identified in activity D. Write the letter of the detail under the corresponding main idea. Main ideas 1, 3, 4, and 5 have 2 details each. So the first part of the instruction, it tells you look at the main ideas that you identified in activity D, which are these ideas. The second part tells you write the letter of the detail under the corresponding main idea. So for example, the main idea, let's look at number 1. Beatrice grew up in Uganda in a very poor family. Right? The details, it's C. So this is C. Beatrice only had one dress. So this idea C automatically matches with the main idea in number 1. Right? So that is how you will complete this exercise. Let us now turn over to page 151. Exercise F. Read the statements, write T for true or F for false, then correct each false statement to make it true. So this is a simple true and false exercise, where if you feel the statement is true, you will write T. If you feel it is false, you will write F. If you feel the statement is false and you write F, you have to correct each false statement. You have to write the correct answer either next to it or on this side, it doesn't matter, but you have to correct each false statement. Exercise G. Go online to read Teen Entrepreneurs and check your comprehension. So this is something which you can do online on the Q Skills account. Write what you think. Exercise A. Discuss these questions in a group. So I'm just going to read through the questions. You can obviously discuss it. Number 1. Some good things happened after Beatrice's family received the goat. The goat produced milk which helped make the family healthier, and the family sold the extra milk for money. What were some other benefits? Number 2, have you or has someone you know ever donated to an organization that gives something directly to people in need? What was the organization? What did the receiver get from the donation? Number 3, when people receive help from Haifa International, they have to agree to pass on the gift that they received. In Beatrice's case, her family had to pass on baby goats to another family in her village. How does this make the gift even bigger? So these are 3 questions which you can discuss in a group. So here are possible answers. Write what you think. A, B answers, page 151. Answers will vary. Possible answers. This is a possible answer for number 1, possible answer for number 2, possible answer for number 3. Right, so we will now move on to exercise B. Choose one question and write a paragraph in response. Look back at your quick write on page 146 as you think about what you learned. So you will choose one question and you will write a paragraph in response. about what you have learned. Let us now turn over to page 152. So page 152 is the reading skill using a timeline. A timeline shows all of the important events that happened during a period of time. Timelines can be useful for understanding and remembering the events in a reading text. Look at the timeline for reading 1, How a Ugandan Girl Got an Education. So this is the timeline of Beatrice's life. 1984, Beatrice was born. 1993, a goat was donated to Beatrice's family. 1995, a study tour sponsored by Haifa came to Beatrice's village. 2001, the book Beatrice's Goat was published. 2008, Beatrice graduated from Connecticut College. So it says go online to watch the skill video. This is something which you can do online on the Q Skills account. Exercise A, read the article, then complete the timeline on page 153. So you are going to read this article from salad dressing to summer camp, and then you are going to complete the timeline on page 153, which is the next page. So let's have a look at page 153. So you are going to complete the timeline according to the example that they showed you with Beatrice. Exercise B, go online for more practice using a timeline. So if you still don't understand how a timeline works and how to complete a timeline, you can now go online on your Q Skills account and you can get more practice using a timeline. Reading 2, how to make the biggest difference when giving to charity. You are going to read an article about how donating just a small amount of money can help improve people's lives. Use the article to gather information and ideas for your unit assignment. Preview the reading. Exercise A. Preview, read the title and first paragraph. What kind of advice do you think this article is going to give? So after you have read reading 2, you will then choose a correct answer. Exercise B, quick write. Think about a time when you wanted to help others but you didn't have much money to donate. What did you do? Write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. Be sure to use this section for your unit assignment. Exercise C, vocabulary. Check the words you know in the box on page 154. Use a dictionary to define any new or unknown words. Then discuss with a partner how the words will relate to the unit. Let us now turn over to page 154. So this is the vocabulary that they were talking about in exercise C. I will just read through the vocab. Aim, ambition, approach, assumption, enable, encourage, expand, impact, measurable, network. So they even tell you next to each vocab, they tell you whether it's a verb, noun, or an adjective. Next, exercise D, go online to listen and practice your pronunciation. So you can go online on your Q Skills account to practice your pronunciation of the vocab. Next, we have work with the reading. Exercise A, read the article and gather information about how a small amount of money can make a big difference. So the article title, How to Make the Biggest Difference When Giving to Charity. So this is your reading 2. So as you can see, it continues all the way onto page 155. We will now turn over to page 156. So this is where your reading ends, on page 156. And they have a woman with cows. She received. Exercise B, vocabulary. Complete the paragraph with the vocabulary from reading 2. You may need to change the form of the word to make the paragraph grammatically correct. So you may need to take the vocabulary and you may need to change it. Maybe you'll need to change it to the past tense, maybe to the present continuous, maybe add an S to the verb. So there's many things that you may need to do to change the vocabulary to make it grammatically correct. So this is the paragraph, this is the vocabulary. It's the same vocab: aim, approach, enable, expand, measurable, ambition, assumption, encourage, impact, network. So this is your vocabulary, and this is the paragraph that you need to complete. Let us now look at the next page, page 157. The paragraph continues. So if you look at the next one, which is exercise C, go online for more practice with the vocabulary. So this is something that you can do online on your Q Skills account. Next we have exercise D. Complete the main ideas from reading 2. Use the phrases in the box. So these are the phrases that they have taken from reading 2. It says use the phrases in the box, which are all of these, to complete these sentences. So the phrases they have given you is Haifa International, it keeps growing, a small amount, the impact, opportunity international, someone's future or ambitions, in the right way, several guidelines, trickle up. So these are the phrases, and you will use these phrases to complete the blanks in exercise D. Let us now turn over to the next page, page 159. So it says read the descriptions in the chart. Check the descriptions that apply to each organization. So these are the descriptions. Gives grants. It obviously applies to trickle up, so they ticked trickle up. Provides loans. Which organization provides loans? You will put a tick, or you will check the box according to the organization. Provides animals, you will do the same. Choose one of the organizations. Provides training, check one of the boxes from the organizations. Ask for commitment, check one of the boxes that matches the organization. And the last one, gift expands, you will choose one of the organizations. Next we have exercise F. According to the authors, which statements are true about giving to the types of charities described in the article? Check the true statements. So according to the authors, which statements are true about giving to the types of charities described in the article? Check the true statements. You will just check whichever ones you feel are true. Exercise G. Complete the statements about reading 2. Circle the correct answer. So, for example, number 1, in paragraph 2, line 9, the word them refers to. If you feel the answer is kids, if you feel the answer is friends, you will just circle the correct answer. A, B, C, D. You will choose one of the answers. Let us now turn over to the next page. the exercise continues. So we're looking at the bottom of page 159. Write what you think. Exercise A, discuss the questions in a group. Look back at your quick write on page 153 as you think about what you learned. Number 1, I will just go through the questions for you. Have you ever given a small amount of money to charity? If so, why did you donate? What was the purpose of the charity? If not, what kind of charity would you donate to and why? Number 2, have you ever donated to an organization that gives something directly to people in need? What was the organization? What did the recipient get from your donation? Number 3, when you give a gift to someone, how do you feel? How does the other person feel? Number 4, how do you feel when you receive a gift from someone you know? How do you feel when the gift is from a stranger? So those are the 4 questions that you need to discuss in a group. So let me show you the possible answers. So these are the possible answers for number 1 and number 2. Possible answer for number 3. Possible answer for number 4. So also remember, the answers will vary. These are just sample answers. Right, let us now move on to the next page. So the next page, exercise B. Think about reading 1 and reading 2 as you discuss the questions. Then choose one question and write a paragraph in response. So you're going to think about reading 1 and reading 2 as you discuss these questions, and then you are going to write a paragraph in response. The last section, which is the vocabulary skill, collocations with nouns. Collocations are words that are frequently used together. Learning collocations can improve your vocabulary and can help your writing sound more natural. Look at these examples of collocations. So the first example, through the generosity of an organization named Haifa, Beatrice's family received a goat. The second example, during the semester, the professor asked the students to do 5 small acts of kindness a day. So in both the examples, the first collocation, through the generosity. In the second example, the collocation is acts of kindness. Below that it says, read the list of collocations that use the nouns generosity and kindness. So once again, collocations are words that are frequently used together. Learning collocations can improve your vocabulary and can help your writing sound more natural. That's what collocations are. Read the list of collocations that use the nouns generosity and kindness. Through the generosity of someone, because of the donations, money, or kindness of someone. The next one, extraordinary generosity, the quality of being willing to give, or the act of giving an unusual amount of time or money. Below that, generosity toward someone, unselfish actions that help someone. Next, an act of kindness, a small action to help someone. Next, treat someone with kindness, to behave in a compassionate way towards someone. And lastly, the kindness of strangers, help from people you don't know. So those are more examples of collocations that use the nouns generosity and kindness. Let us now turn over to the next page. So the next page, exercise A, page 161. Read the paragraph, underline the collocations from the vocabulary skill on box, page 160. So basically, you will read this paragraph, and wherever you see a collocation like generosity, you will underline it. Extraordinary generosity, you will underline it, right? That is how you will complete exercise A. Below that, exercise B, choose 3 collocations from the skill box on page 160. Write a sentence using each collocation. So you will choose 3 collocations from the previous skill box on page 160, and then you will write your own sentence using each collocation. You only need to write 3 sentences. Exercise C, go online for more practice with noun collocations. So you can actually go online on your Q Skills account and you can practice using collocations. Okay, so that wraps up your unit.